We've got a problem. When a family in Israel needs to buy food for Passover but can't because they've fallen into poverty and can't afford it, their future is in danger for generations. Yep, generations. Let me explain. Children, they have to eat. And when a family can barely afford to put food on the table, the holidays become a whole new challenge. Telling your children that they won't be celebrating Passover this year because we can't afford it is heartbreaking and unimaginable. So, these two poverty-stricken parents did what anyone else would. They bought food for Passover on their credit card with the plan to one day pay it all back. But here's the thing. They couldn't afford to pay it back. Their credit card had an interest rate so high that by the time the next big expense came around, they were drowning in debt. Their last hope to pay their bills and stay afloat was to take out a loan. And when they couldn't pay that back, they took out another loan, and another, and another, and another, until the bank said, "Sorry, no more loans, and oh yeah, we're taking your home too." To scrape by, both mom and dad had to take on night jobs to make sure they could afford their one-bedroom studio for their family of 6. With mom and dad working nights, what happened to their kids? With no supervision, their daughter didn't get the help with homework she needed and started failing in school. Their son started hanging out with the wrong people. Their kids never got into college. They got bad jobs. And when they both got married and had their own kids, they were too busy working nights and scraping by to help their own children. With no help, they also did poorly in school. And then they got terrible jobs too. And the family fell into the cycle of poverty for generations. Not the way anyone should celebrate the holidays, or the rest of their lives for that matter, right? What if someone, just like you, was able to help someone in need by donating a little matzah through Meir Panim? Then, two poverty-stricken, loving parents could tell their children they'll be celebrating Passover just like everyone else. They'd be able to save their money. They wouldn't build up credit card debt. They wouldn't have to take out any loans. They'd be able to keep their home. They wouldn't have to take on extra jobs, and they could be there for their children. Their children would have opportunities to pursue a better education and get a great job. They'd be able to pay their bills, set down roots, and build a home. Their kids, with the help they needed from educated parents, they'd do well in school. And for generations to come, their family would enter a new cycle, the cycle of prosperity. The cycle of poverty was over. And to think, all it took was a little bit of matzah. In the last 2 years, poverty in Israel has doubled. This year alone, there will be over 650,000 families that won't be able to afford to buy food for Passover. That's over 2.5 million mothers, fathers, and children. Before each of those people falls down the cycle of poverty for generations, you can save them with just a little bit of matzah. Donate today to Meir Panim to provide food and care for the millions of Israelis living in poverty this Passover. A little matzah goes a long way.